For the first ornament, I'm going to be using these tumbling tower blocks, and you can find them at the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue 3 of them together to create the base of my ornament. And then I'm going to be using this Truffle Waverly chalk paint, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a nice base coat. I'm going to be using some of this Waverly chalk paint in the color Mineral. I'm just going to go ahead and apply that over top of the truffle paint. However, I'm going to intentionally not cover the whole thing so that it leaves some of the darker color showing through, which will give it a distressed look. And then I'm going to be taking this Hobby Lobby ribbon, and I'm just going to go ahead and wrap that around like you would a present. Then I'm going to be taking some jute twine, and I just go ahead and hot glue that onto the back of my ornament for the hanger. And then I'm taking one of these wire garland ties from the Dollar Tree. I just go ahead and cut a small piece off of one of them, and I shape it into a circle to make it look like a little miniature wreath, and go ahead and glue that to the top of my present ornament. And then I'm going to be taking some of these red berries from one of the Dollar Tree Christmas picks. I just go ahead and cut 3 of them off, and then I glue that onto my little wreath. And here is how the little present ornament turned out. For the next ornament, I'm again going to be using the Dollar Tree tumbling tower blocks, and I go ahead and glue 3 of them together like I did the last ornament. However, I also glue a 4th one to the top to create the base of my ornament, and then I take the Waverly chalk paint in the color Truffle and give it a nice base coat. Now I'm going to use some of the Waverly chalk paint in the color Mineral. I just go ahead and lightly dry brush it around the edges of my ornament to give it a distressed look. And then I take one of these mini wooden Christmas trees from the Dollar Tree. I go ahead and remove the sticker from the back, and then I glue it to the base of my ornament. I made a little red and black buffalo check bow with some Hobby Lobby ribbon, so I just go ahead and glue that to the top of my ornament, and then I also added a jute twine hanger to the back of it. And then I'm going to be using 2 of these mini pine cones, and these came from Hobby Lobby, and I go ahead and lightly dry brush them with some white paint to make them look snow covered, and I think this makes them look more realistic, and I like how they turned out. And then I glued my 2 mini pine cones to the top of my ornament for the finishing touch, and here is how the ornament turned out. For the next ornament, I'm going to be using one of these mini wooden snowflakes from the Dollar Tree, and I go ahead and remove the sticker from the back of it, And then I'm going to be painting it with some white paint. I'm just going to go ahead and dry brush it on there to make it look whitewashed. And I'm going to be attaching my snowflake to the same base that I made in the first ornament with the 3 tumbling tower blocks, and I painted it in the same way with the truffle and mineral chalk paints. So I go ahead and glue on my snowflake to the base of my ornament, and then I also attached a jute twine hanger to the back of it. I made a small little mini bow with some Hobby Lobby ribbon, so I go ahead and glue that to the top of my ornament for the finishing touch. And here is a look at how the ornament turned out. For the next DIY ornament, I'm going to once again be gluing together 3 of those Dollar Tree tumbling tower blocks, and then I'm going to give it a nice base coat with some white paint. Now I'm just taking some black paint and I'm lightly dry brushing it around the base of my ornament to give it a rustic look. And I'm also going to be giving it a light sanding just to kind of blend in that black paint and make it look even more distressed. And then I'm going to take one of these little mini trucks, and this set came from Hobby Lobby. You can find it on sale for 50% off for $2.50, which I think is a great deal because you can use so many of those little wooden icons to make many cute ornaments. And I'm just going to go ahead and paint my truck red. After I finished painting my truck, I dry brushed on a very tiny bit of black paint just to make the truck look a little bit more rustic looking, and I also gave it a very light sanding to distress it a little bit more. And then I just hot glued on my cute little red truck to the base of my ornament, and I made a cute little buffalo check bow with this Hobby Lobby ribbon. So I go ahead and hot glue that to the top of my ornament, and then to finish it off I glued on one of the jute twine hangers to the top. And here's how my red truck ornament turned out. For the last DIY ornament, I'm going to be using just one of the Dollar Tree tumbling tower blocks, and I go ahead and stain it with some antiquing paint, and then I use a white paint pen to go ahead and draw on a cute little Christmas tree. And I made a little red and black buffalo check bow out of some Hobby Lobby ribbon, so I go ahead and glue that to the top. And then to finish it off, I glued on a jute twine hanger to the top, and this ornament was very simple to make.